Why the Jurassic Park franchise is way better than the Jurassic World franchise. But first, let's start off at the very beginning with Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. And I'm going to be talking about both books simultaneously. So what made these books great was how Michael Crichton was able to mix adventure with horror. And well, when it came to the horror, he didn't hold back with the goriness and the graphic depiction of animal attacks. And what I love as well about the first book is the fact that you don't know who's going to die. Any character was going to get it, or could get it. And what I like most about Michael Crichton's book is the fact that it's not just a book about dinosaurs. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a book about dinosaurs killing humans. Its actual main message is the fact that you can't play God. And the fact that we take dinosaurs for granted. We're in wow. We are reading the book in wonder, right? We are reading this from the POV of every kid's dream to see dinosaurs. And that's what makes the book great, because we have that expectation of, oh great, dinosaurs, and then, oh my god, oh. You know, that's kind of how Michael Crichton was able to mix horror and adventure so brilliantly, it frightens us. And that's what the book does, it's a horror book.
A high-pitched scream. The scream cut off abruptly. And when the juvenile lifted his head, Grant saw ragged flesh in his jaws.
Which then leads me nicely into the first Jurassic Park film. And how the Jurassic Park film, some people say it doesn't do the book justice, and I get that in the sense that it's not as graphic as the book. But the fact of its message of how to not play God and balancing adventure and horror, all that is on full display in the first film. And the first film does this best. And the reason why it does it the best is because it's the first time. It's the first time us, the audience, are seeing dinosaurs like this. Before, it was always stop motion. Jurassic Park was the first time they were experimenting with CGI. And even up until this day, I can tell you that these effects are way better than some of the shit nowadays. Now, something about Jurassic Park that must be noted is Dennis Nedry. Yes, in the book he had a much gruesome death, but I just want to talk about Dennis Nedry being the villain of Jurassic Park, or John Hammond being the villain of Jurassic Park, but that is a video for another day. But Dennis Nedry, right? Everyone watching this, maybe as a kid you didn't really understand it, because me, I thought when Dennis said, "Thanks, Dad," I thought John Hammond was his actual dad. I didn't know he was being sarcastic. That's how innocent I was. But Dennis Nedry, his motives are very believable, because we can all kind of relate to the fact that he wants money. I mean, I think that's what everyone does. The plot of him doing it for money isn't taking the piss as it does in other installments, but we get to those. It's more realistic. We understand that this is a guy that's being underutilized in the in his financial pocket. Spared no expense, i.e. let's not pay Nedry, son. Is it Nedry's fault that Jurassic Park happened? Yeah, it is. What he still did was fucked. But alas, it's a villain. We can familiarise ourselves with his motives. And by the way, even though his death in the film is not as gruesome as in the books, his death in the film is still fucking noteworthy. Like, that's fucking scary. Like, when I was a kid, I just remember his screams in that car, and it was like, oh, that scared me. Other than Dennis Nedry, the main villain, or villains, of the first film are actually the raptors themselves. Because these raptors are Look at Muldoon's death. That raptor eyeing him up. Like, that is evil. That eye is evil. These raptors were evil creatures. And it worked. It made sense to make the dinosaurs a part of the main cast. Which they are. They're meant to be the star of the show. So why not make the dinosaurs the most evil ones? And that's what he did good. And that's what made it great. The fact that you make the raptors the villain is very believable. Because out of every animal, it would be them with the intelligence they have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Methodical? No, that's not the right word. Oh, just evil. The smarter the creature, the more evil they can be. But other than the raptors, all the dinosaurs were just being themselves. Granted, yes, the T-Rex eyesight is amazing, and that is a myth that they can't see if you're still. But alas, T-Rex was being a T-Rex in this film, Brachiosaurus was being a Brachiosaurus in this film, Triceratops, even though it was sick. I mean, yeah, it was sick. Like, all the other dinosaurs in this film, other than the raptors, were just dinosauring, just being dinosaurs. And that's what you want to see. I mean, the first opening scene with the Brachiosaurus is amazing. It's wonderful. And it's one of those things where us, the audience, are feeling exactly what the characters are feeling. Just in awe of looking at these big prehistoric beasts. Like, it was just, beautiful. And it's just because that they are just being animals. And that's all you need. You just need a dinosaur movie that just shows dinosaurs being dinosaurs. And going back to mixing adventure with horror, the horror aspect, the deaths in this film, you don't know who's gonna die. Because anyone could. Okay, maybe Alan Grant has some plot armor and Ellie Satt has some plot armor. But Malcolm doesn't, and we thought he would die. He thought, like, when he got chased by a T-Rex, we thought it was rats for him. Even John Hammond hasn't got plot armor. The kids obviously have plot armor because they're kids. I'll get onto that, how that pisses me off later on in other installments. But they're not subjected to danger. That whole main road sequence establishes how you can be in danger no matter who you are. We also had good characters that didn't deserve to die. We had the evil guy that died. We have some randoms that died. We had people that were just doing their jobs that died. Anyone was at risk on this island. And that's the key thing. And that's what makes it suspenseful. That's what makes it a very good horror film. Is that anyone can get it. Okay, moving on to the Lost World Jurassic Park. Now, I love the Lost World Jurassic Park. I know some people don't, some people are FD about it, but I do love it. I love seeing Jeff Goldblum back in the role as Malcolm. But what the Lost World does great is it shows dinosaurs being dinosaurs, and it develops a new concept. It adds to the world. There's a site B where dinosaurs are roaming free, and now as an audience we can actually watch these animals be animals. It's like a documentary almost. Similar to Jurassic Park, every character was at risk. I mean, yeah, we knew Malcolm wasn't gonna die. We knew probably Sarah wasn't going to die. We knew his daughter wasn't going to die. These three we knew weren't going to die. But everyone else was like fair game. In the Lost World, we had obviously bad guys dying, good guys dying. We had comeuppances. We had playing God again. We had all of that. Now, the main villain, Ludlow, was weak in my opinion. This is when Jurassic Park was kind of like, you saw like the seeds of, okay, money. It's all going to be money based. And we had Ludlow trying to create a theme park in San Diego. And now, some people hate the San Diego sequence. I can understand why. It's completely, the pacing of the whole film changed after the T-Rex runs riot as if it's Godzilla in Tokyo, like, you know what I mean? But Ludlow as a villain was weak, in my opinion. Just a weak-ass villain. Which also brings me to another point, is that there are no dinosaur villains in the Lost World. And I mean, how can you have a dinosaur villain when the dinosaurs are just being dinosaurs? The T-Rex are hunting everyone because of their infant and how the infant was injured. I mean, imagine if you were a T-Rex and you just saw your infant, you got this random human bandage on it. You're like, what the f*** is that? I'm going to take revenge. The Raptors, feeding time. Humans were in their territory. Can't blame them. The Compsognathus. Dia Stark zapped one. And they're like, oh, he went to his mates and said, this guy's a bastard. Let's get him. And then he got his comeuppance. So all the animals were just being animals. I think the Lost World Jurassic Park depicts animal behaviour in the most realistic way in the entirety of the franchise, in my opinion. But of course, because of that, we lack a villain dinosaur. Not to say that is a bad thing, because in my opinion, the Lost World did its job. It had suspense, horror, it had everything. The only thing it couldn't have was that wow, like R factor, because we already had it. You can't play the same trick twice. They tried to do it with the Stegosauruses, which, I'll be real, they did get away with it because it's a dinosaur we haven't seen before, but it's not going to beat the original Brachiosaurus scene. I think The Lost World did a great job, and I think it's the best sequel to Jurassic Park. Now, the third film, when I was a kid, it was my favourite film. I loved the Spinosaurus. I just love the fact that a Spinosaurus killed a T-Rex, because I know for a fact, everyone I knew, their favourite dinosaur was a T-Rex, and I was so sick and tired of the majority just favouring. Bear in mind, this generic looking dinosaur, yeah, I said it, a T-Rex is a generic looking dinosaur. It's the same thing, it looks exactly the same as a Carcharodontosaurus, any other theropod, Giganotosaurus. If you went in the wild and saw it, you'd be like, okay, it's just a T-Rex. Yeah, and I know, I'm gonna get paleontologists having a go at me, but come on, as a kid, this is what I was thinking. I know the differences now, but as a kid, looking at it, I was like, what's the big deal about a T-Rex? I mean, for God's sake, if you stand still, it can't see you. And then years later, it finds out that's not true. And to be fair, the T-Rex has really gotten buffed lately. Like, it's gotten more powerful over the years, which is interesting. And Spinosaurus just got nerfed completely. JP3 Spinosaurus is my favourite dinosaur. That version is my favourite Spinosaurus and my favourite dinosaur of all time. And this dinosaur was the main villain of Jurassic Park 3. You can make a case that the Kirbys are the real villains because they basically kidnap Grant and Billy. But the main villain is the Spinosaurus. And that oh, chills. Now, whether or not the Spinosaurus was hunting them out of just free will, or the fact that he wanted revenge, because in some media I've read, apparently they shot up its baby. I don't know if that's canon, really, so we're just going to say that the Spinosaurus was hunting these humans for the sake of hunting humans. So it was an evil bastard. And the Spinosaurus itself added something new that we hadn't seen before. An amphibious dinosaur. I had to double check there. Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. An amphibious dinosaur, and it brought that nice boat sequence, which was fun to watch as well. And the new concept they bring to this film is there's a bunch of people stranded on an island and they have to escape. And this isn't an island where there's a lot of fences up and about. Yeah, there are a couple of fences, I'll give you that. But it's an island with free roaming dinosaurs that they have to escape from. And Jurassic Park 3 is the most dangerous scenario you can be in out of the entire franchise. The most dangerous. I'll be real, they should have killed off Billy. But I was happy that he came back around again. But it would have made the film a bit more impactful. But does that mean that because he didn't kill off Billy, there is some seeds planting of characters having plot armor? Well, that brings me on to the next part of this video. The Jurassic World franchise. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Jurassic World. I think it's bloody strong. I think it's great. It adds a new concept that they've opened a park. We haven't seen that before, so that's a plus. In my book, all the characters in this are at risk, other than obviously Owen, Claire, and the kids. But everyone else is fair game in my eyes, so that's good. Hoskins as a villain was strong, and it's a new kind of concept for a villain. It's not a money-driven villain, it's a military-driven villain. Okay, that's new, bringing in the military. The main villain was a hybrid dinosaur. We haven't seen hybrids yet, so this is a new concept, and that's good. And the Indominus Rex is a very evil dinosaur. Very evil. Which then when it came to the final showdown between Lou, Rexy, and the Indominus, and obviously the Mosasaur, oh my God, I get goosebumps. Everything about that was beautiful. The soundtrack was beautiful. The cinematography was beautiful. And how it ended was beautiful. It was literally like Endgame. It felt like Endgame for dinosaurs. Jurassic World went as big as it could. As big as it could and well it should be. And how it should have been. I think Jurassic World was perfect for what it could do. It is not better than the original, but from what it is and what it was, I don't think you could make that film better. It did what it had to do. It achieved what it had to achieve. And it did alright in the box office, if I do say so myself.
Welcome to Jurassic World.
But then we get the rest of the Jurassic World films. Now the question, before I get into each of them, the main question is, why don't these three films work? Kind of hinted at it throughout this video. But the key word here is plot armor. All these films side by side, these are the characters that you know for a fact when you're watching it, they're gonna die. The mercenary, the bad guy, the side character, or characters. And it's so predictable. Like, do you remember when the deaths in Jurassic Park actually meant something and actually scared us? Like, look at f***ing Eddie's death. This guy was the great guy. He wasn't just a good character. He was a great character. He wasn't just a good guy. He was a great guy. And he had a sacrifice moment. And none of us expected him to go out like that. Same thing with Udesky in Jurassic Park 3. Same with Muldoon in Jurassic Park 1. Like, all these characters We didn't think they were going to get it, but they got it. I mean, okay, yeah, they are quite some side characters. Muldoon, I think you can defo say he wasn't a side character. In my eyes, he wasn't a side character. The other two, you can make claims. But there was still a bit of hope that they would survive, that they weren't just going to get killed off for the sake of showing a scene of a dinosaur eating someone. Because nowadays, it's like, oh, okay, they're going to die right now. Okay, yeah, that made sense. Yeah, all right, well done. Predictable. Oh, but when it comes to one of the main lot, they could be practically in the dinosaur's mouth and they somehow manage to survive. Or if a dinosaur's chasing them, all of a sudden, because it's a main character, they've got arthritis in their legs and they can't keep up with them. Oh, but when it's like a random military extra guy, boom, killed him like that. Usain Bolt of dinosaurs. It's like Stranger Things all over again. And I fucking hate that as well.
You need to get us out of here.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about Fallen Kingdom. Okay, we're going back to the island. That sounds a bit familiar, actually. Okay, we're taking dinosaurs off the island. I mean, do you know what? I'll give it to Fallen Kingdom. That is a kind of a new concept. We ain't seen that before. Selling dinosaurs for money. That's kind of new. But then it's like we've got another hybrid. What, again? We killed one hybrid. Let me guess. You're not going to kill this hybrid. It's going to be different. It's going to say, oh, it just gets taken out like that. I mean, it was cool seeing Blue and the Indoraptor fight. And I do like how Fallen Kingdom is much a horror. But the thing it does at the start with the Brachiosaurus and that factor, it's It's bad. Comparing that to the original is so lackluster because we've already seen it. We don't need it. We see other dinosaurs as well, such as the Baryonyx. We see an Allosaurus briefly before it gets taken out by a f***ing meteorite. And then one thing about Fallen Kingdom, I'll give it its props, is that final Brachiosaurus scene where it's on the pier and it's get killed by the lava and you can hear the theme song of the Brachiosaurus theme in Jurassic Park 1 and you see it stand its high legs and it was showing the extinction of the Brachiosaurus. That bit was, when I watched it, I teared up. I admit, I teared up. It was brilliant. I'm not going to deny, I'm not going to shit on a movie if it's got something I like in it. And then, I'm going to shit on the movie still. But if there's a scene in the movie that I've got to give it props, I've got to give it props. It was a brilliant, lovely scene. Everything else about the film is a bit shit. All the bad guys die expectedly. I mean, when I forgot his name, but the main villain, when he died, that scared me. I was in the theater watching it. That was a major jump scare. I mean, this is what Fallen Kingdom does well, is how it is a horror film at times. It does show suspense and it is scary. It is scary, but it's still meh.
Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?
And then we get on to Jurassic World's Dominion. Okay, so now we've come to the third installment of the franchise, lads, and let's think of how we're going to make this Jurassic World's Dominion. How we're going to, what's the story, what's the plot going to be? Like, what dinosaurs are we going to use? What was that? The dinosaurs just talk about insects. I love it. Dominion was about locusts. It was cool seeing Dodgson, and it was cool how he died to Dilophosaurus, the same as Dennis Nedry did. But the fact is, we literally a few scenes before his death, we see this. What the f***? He literally grabbed the f***ing Dilophosaurus and said, "You're my bitch now." I don't care if that's f***ing, what's his name? Chris Pratt. I don't care if it's Chris Pratt. That was f***ing diabolical. And then you had the Giganotosaurus versus the whole entire old cast and new cast. No one's in danger, by the way. When I was sat in the theatre, I was waiting for the sequence to end because there was no suspense, because the Giganotosaurus was blind, slow, everything, and no characters were in danger. Ian Malcolm, I do admit, I love Jeff Goldblum in it. He had his moment, nice. Maisie, another kid you know is not going to die even though she's literally in its mouth. No one was in danger, so no, I don't give a shit. The stuff in Dominion that I liked was the stuff that wasn't involved around the Biosyn landscape place. Everything that took place in Malta, everything that took place in the real world, I loved it. I loved how the Mosasaurus had a scene at the beginning, but I wish they showed f***ing more of it. I wish they showed more of it, because in Fallen Kingdom, when Jeff Goldblum delivered the line,
"Welcome to Jurassic World,"
we see the f***ing Mosasaurus about to chomp on some surfers. When do we see nothing? You would think Dominion would be about trying to fix all these dinosaurs up and round them up and protect humanity. Like we see like the teaser of a prologue where we see the f***ing T-Rex in a drive-through cinema. And then it's just like, that didn't even f***ing happen in the film. Even the setup of like the mini f***ing, well, I guess the prologue of when the T-Rex is fighting the Giganosaurus back in 65 million years ago. You don't get that in the film. And you know what's worse? Is that's dinosaurs being dinosaurs. And we didn't f***ing see it. So you had to, basically, what I'm saying is, you had to have a YouTube account. Well, that's easy. But you had to openly go and search for it on YouTube to find it. Why can't you just have it in the film? Why? And then at the end of the film where you got like the fight in it as well, it's just kaiju bow at that point. You see, there's like this one shot that people always talk about how like, you see Rexy for a moment and then it cuts back to its old Rexy back in 65 million years ago. Yeah, no one noticed it. I'm telling you, no one noticed it. Only people saying that are dead hard fans. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it at all. It was like a blink and you miss it moment. The Giganotosaurus gets killed just like that. Rexy's got plot armor in this now. The dinosaurs have plot armor in this. That's crazy. And Dominion's just shit, bad, horrible. Didn't like it. I like that Ellie and Grant got together, but other than that, bin it. Get rid of it.
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
And then we get to the final installment of the franchise, Rebirth, where the main villain of this film is a Snickers chocolate bar rapper. I wish I was f***ing joking. But then the plot of the film is, oh, we gotta go to the island again and get some DNA from some of these dinosaurs. Okay, maybe not the same island, but tomato, going to an island with dinosaurs. Because that is a very original idea. I don't get why none of these films exploited the fact that it's called Jurassic World and there's no dinosaurs in the world. We see one at the start of the film and people are just bibbing at it. And then it's explained like a few scenes later that all the dinosaurs moved to the equator for some unknown reason because they ain't got no oxygen or some shit. And then everyone doesn't give a shit about dinosaurs no more. As if people don't go to regular zoos as it is to look at the same animals they see every other day of every other year on bloody TikTok. Shut up! Everyone would love to see dinosaurs. If you saw a massive Apatosaurus in the road, you're not gonna be, oh, it's another Apatosaurus again. If you was in the road and you saw a cow on the middle of the road, you'll stop to look at it. And the thing about Jurassic World Rebirth is I thought Dominion was like a love letter to the franchise. Well, it is, but it does it shitly. This one at least does it moderately okay, but it's still bad. But how it just incorporates every single thing from every other film into it, like it mashes it all together. Like off the top of my head, from Jurassic Park, right? F***ing kitchen scene. We literally get that in this one. Jurassic Park 2 Lost World is the only film I can't think of saying other than f*** it. Let's go back to the island because dinosaurs and plot. You know what they stole from Lost World? They stole the fact of taking the paleontologists to the island to look at dinosaurs. That's what they stole. There's probably something I'm missing that's very obvious that someone will let me know in the comments that's very similar about both films, but that's all I can think of. Oh, Jurassic Park 3. Oh, that scene with the Spinosaurus and the boat actually went well. What if we took that idea and multiplied the amount of Spinosauruses in that scene and made the boat bigger? F*** it. Let's put a Jaws reference in it. And the whole point of Jurassic Park 3 is that they literally crash land and they have to find another way to get off the island. And they find a boat, don't they? They go search for a boat. Jurassic World of easy one. Hybrids. And introducing sexy ass women. Oh, Scarlett Johansson. But most importantly, Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh, both of them could feed me to a pack of hungry, vicious raptors. And you know what? I'll still buy them dinner. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, easy. They gotta get DNA from a dinosaur. Simple. For Jurassic World Dominion, let's take the concept of how dinosaurs absolutely love the protagonists over all the other cliche characters that they prefer to eat. Also, what else that's just pissed me off about this film is like the D-Rex. I thought that, like looking at the trailers and looking at everyone not shutting up about it, I thought it would be in the film a lot more than it actually is. But no, it comes in like last 10 minutes. The raft scene from the film as well is great. obviously taken from the book. Only problem, we knew none of them were gonna die. We knew none of them were gonna die. After the fucking Mosasaurus failing to eat the boyfriend, I thought, okay, alright, no one's getting hurt in this family. They're not gonna get a scratch on them. I mean, the dad breaks his fucking leg and then walks it off like a few scenes later. But other than that, no one else is gonna die. Dominion's obviously a worse film, but Rebirth rubbed me up the wrong way. The amount of hype on this film, like when it was in the works and stuff, I heard people saying it was going to be rated R, that it was going to be the most gruesome, that they were going to honour Michael Crichton's book and make this the most goriest, most bloody, most violent installment in the franchise, and I got excited. And then my dumbass went online and just saw thumbnails of people saying, oh, the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 is going to be in it as well. And I got so excited. I got so excited. And I just believed it. I just believed it for no reason. I just thought of it. I just thought it would. I was like, yes, yes. And I saw another couple thumbnails showing how the Spinosaurus comes in at the end and kills the D-Rex. And I was so waiting for it. I was so waiting for it. It never happened. I got blue-balled. And then how comes that whole talk about how dinosaurs can only live at the equator, and then the little girl proceeds to take home a dinosaur, when there's literally a paleontologist who explained this to us in the beginning, sat right there on the fucking boat.
Oh, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. No.
So to conclude, why the Jurassic Park franchise is way better than the Jurassic World franchise is simply because it creates new concepts. It doesn't f***ing copy. Everything is so fresh and nothing is predictable. Nothing is predictable. And the dinosaurs are the main stars of the show. They're the heroes, they're the villains, they're all the in-betweens. And most importantly, every character is fair game when it comes to surviving a Jurassic Park film. And that is why the Jurassic Park franchise is way better than the Jurassic World franchise. And that concludes the end of this video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what your favourite film is of this entire franchise, and whether or not you agree with the stuff I've said today. But before you go, we have yet another installment of Shakespeare for Noobs, where we are doing something a little bit different, because we are tackling a play that doesn't really exist. If you want to find out what I mean by that, then what are you waiting for? Click on this video right here, where we go through A Midsummer Night's Dream.